you also have multiple songs on Spotify with over 100,000 streams.
For some reason, that song, maybe because there's an emotional element to it, it just kept getting picked up. And there was at one point, it got like 7,000 streams in a day, which is a lot for me as an independent artist.
You also went to Iceland to shoot a music video?
Yeah, I knew it was a special place just from what I had seen online. And for some reason, kind of like the ghost town thing, I just was like, ding, I have an idea.
The ghost town and going.
Yeah.
Tell me about that whole process of going to the place. And
it was great. Originally, I was gonna go to this fake ghost town that is like one of those pure space things.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that'll be cool, and we can like light it and whatever. But then I had this idea, what if there's a real one? Because I'm crazy and I like to go the extra mile. This interview is making me feel like I'm clinically insane.
No, like,
because I'm hearing myself, I'm like, whoa, I'm crazy.
No, you're very persistent, and that's amazing. You posted about getting a good sized check from a sync project. How did that come about?
Nothing happened for the first couple years, actually. And then all of a sudden, I got a call that this commercial for transition lenses, they were interested, like she had pitched them, my song Lighthouse. And so I had a couple years run with a very small, like little section that they were placing it in. And then this year they renewed it and it was like a way bigger check. And I was like, damn, okay, this is paying my rent for a year? Like, this is the dream. It's a good message to just remember, like, keep going, because it took like 4 years from her signing me for me to get that check. Machine
Gun Kelly is your favorite artist, and recently you got the opportunity to FaceTime with him. She has songs with hundreds of thousands of streams. She's gotten some big sync money, and her video content is amazing. Juliette Irons.
Thank you
so much for joining me.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. You make me feel very cool.
You are very cool.
You're right.
So thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm doing well, and hanging by a thread, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood.
How are you doing?
Same. Yeah. Trying to figure my life out.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all we can do.
I think we're all on that page.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of really amazing things to talk about with you. I want to start though with Machine Gun Kelly. And
my fave.
Yes, I know. So you came on the previous iteration of the podcast.
Yeah.
And we talked about Machine Gun Kelly a little bit. So for those who may not have seen that, I want to kind of catch them up a little bit. So Machine Gun Kelly is your favorite artist, or one of them at least. And
he takes the top spot.
Okay, cool.
Say. Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly, your favorite artist.
Yeah.
And you would love to be on tour with him, be on his label, etc.
All of the above.
All of the things.
Yep.
And so you made a song called "I'm in Love with Machine Gun Kelly."
Yes.
And he actually, in the content you were posting and stuff, you tagged him on some things, and he actually responded.
Yeah, he did.
And recently you got the opportunity to FaceTime with him. So take us from him responding and tell us what happened when he responded, and then go to the FaceTime.
Okay. Yeah, so the response was on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I had been tagging him in content for the video for like 4 months. I was very relentless. Because I just to get to the point of even writing a song called "I'm in Love with Machine Gun Kelly," like you're like, there's a goal.
Yeah.
I'm like, he needs to know I exist.
Absolutely.
Because obviously, he's just my biggest inspiration. I think that's obvious in my music and like my artistry and everything. So I was relentless about it, and then finally, I woke up one day and got a notification from X, and he responded, and I was like, what? Like literally. Fell on the floor.
Yeah, I bet.
It was like, it finally happened. And it was really cool because he said, he was flattered by the song. And he also said that he was originally planning on surprising me at my Viper Room show. Wow. But he ended up not being able to make it because he needed to go to because he was going to his daughter's volleyball game.
Right.
Which I'm like, yeah, go to that.
Yeah,
that is important. But the fact that he was even thinking of coming to one of my shows is like insane.
Awesome.
But you know what? I do believe that timing is everything.
100%.
Because back then I would have still done it, but I would have been like so nervous. And I think it happening now, like over a year later, I would be at a better a better level.
Better able to handle it.
Yeah. I still
If you
get
were to walk
insanely.
in.
I still would die. That's for sure. But like a little bit better, a little bit more ready to kill it, you know? So yeah, that happened. I freaked out and then, you know, continued promoting the song. And then I had heard that, or actually we'll go to the FaceTime.
Yeah.
So he was doing, to promote his new album, he was doing meet and greets in different towns.
Yeah.
And he went to my hometown
Okay.
in Toronto.
Okay.
Which I was like, what the hell? He's in my hometown and I'm not there.
Yeah.
But my dad is a really big fan. And because I kind of put him, I introduced him to MGK. And we watched a documentary together. And then my dad was like, oh, I'm obsessed now too. And he's like on the journey with me. Like he believes in the dream almost more than me.
Nice.
He helps me out and supports me and it's amazing.
Awesome.
So he was like, I'm going to go to the meet and greet. And I was like, definitely, yes. And also, you know, maybe you could be like, I'm Juliette's dad. Maybe he'll remember me. Yeah. And then my dad was like, well, what if I FaceTime him? I was like, oh, wait, though. That could be really, maybe I'll get 3 seconds to say hi. Because at those things, there's probably like hundreds of people all waiting for their, 10-second chance. So he got there. And then I was going to screen record it so I could just have it as a memory for myself. But I got so nervous and excited, I forgot. And then after I was like, I kind of want to kill myself. But luckily I had my other camera. I was doing content and stuff and I had it sitting there. So I got like a weird angle of it.
Okay.
But yes, my dad went up to him and he just said like, hi, I'm Juliette Irons' dad. And before he could even say like the name of the song, he already was like, oh yeah, Juliette Irons, like that's my dog or whatever. And I died. I couldn't even really form words. I just sat there on the phone like, hi. Like, we're finally meeting and it's through a FaceTime with my dad. It's so weird and cool.
How long was the FaceTime?
It was very short because I think he had already probably seen hundreds of people and there were still hundreds more. So he only gets a certain amount of time. And there was still my dad standing there too. And he wanted to probably give more energy to my dad who was really there in person.
For sure.
So it was, maybe like 10 seconds. But it was really cool to finally make that connection and also kind of feel that he really does know my name and remember me now. And when it's like your biggest idol ever, like, you have that moment with them, it's pretty awesome.
And so what is the goal now as far as Machine Gun Kelly? Because I know you're working on something else now.
Lots of goals, but as far as him specifically, so I had heard back when I was writing the song, I saw an interview that he did, and he had kind of subtly announced that his next move was going to be his own label. And so I was like, oh, like that's the dream. Like, we've all wanted to get signed to labels. We all like walk past Capitol Records and it's like the dream, and we all think that would like, it would be amazing. And then we discover how much more there is to it and how difficult that is and whatever. So when I realized he's making his own label, I was like, okay, well, if there's anybody on this planet I would want to mentor me, it's him. Because he came from nothing, literally was rapping in a basement with his producer who is his same producer now and made this like insane career. So he really knows what it's like to be an artist, like passing out mixtapes and like nobody believing in you, but like you have the dream and he made it happen. So he's definitely going to be looking out for his artists.
Sure.
And also just his artistry, his taste, everything, like that's the person that I would want to be working with. So when he announced that, I was like, I put on my vision board. This was like January 2024. And then I put the song out and I was like, it's gonna happen. But like, I don't know how. And like, nobody really said anything more about his label for this whole time. So a year and a half later, this video pops up on my feed and it's like someone that's at MGK Day. And he announced the name of his label, which is Floor 13.
Okay.
And so he was kind of officially being like, we are gonna be, helping the next generation of artists and creatives and all of that. And I was like, it's time. So I just made a submission. Like I just made a video, put it on social media being like, I'm submitting for Floor 13. This is my music. This is meant to be, I believe in myself. And so far, that was like a month ago. No one from him or his team or anything has seen it yet that I know of.
Right.
But I still believe like it's out there. Somebody will see it. Something will connect. Because I really feel like that's where I'm meant to go. So that was a really long answer. Hopefully that was okay.
All good.
I feel like I'm rambling, but that's the goal for me. Because
awesome.
I feel like it's always been what I wanted. And now that it's officially a thing that he's put out there, I'm like, I'm tunnel visioning into that.
Yeah.
So
No, that's the way it works. I feel like if you keep channeling your energy towards that goal, it's going to happen.
I agree. And vision boards are real because I've made like 2 other big career things happen from a vision board before that are like identical to what it is. And I have written on my vision board, I will sign to Colson Baker's, because that's his real name, record label, and then Floor 13, and that was a year and a half ago, and it's still up there. I just look at it every day. I'm like, it's gonna happen. Don't know when, but it's gonna happen.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's part of why I asked, so that selfishly, when it happens, we can have you back on.
Hell
and I can be like, see, we called it right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I can like take a little bit of credit for it.
I love that so much. No, but it's real. Because speaking it is the second part, I feel like.
100%.
You have to start telling people that you really feel that you believe in it.
Yeah.
Speaking it and stuff, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yes.
Okay. So you also have multiple songs on Spotify with over 100,000 streams, which is really dope as an independent artist to have those types of numbers. So when you put out a song, what is your thought process? What is your strategy? What are you doing to kind of get those numbers going?
Good question. So, because we know as independent artists, like we don't have a team and we don't have a lot of people already there waiting for it yet, right? So all that I really, because marketing is definitely the thing that I feel is not as much one of my strengths, and I think most artists agree with that, right? You just like go on YouTube being like, what do I do to get people to hear my song?
Yeah, I mean, because we're like, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, I just want to put out the music, and we don't a lot of times think about the business and marketing side of it, but it is very important.
Totally, and it used to be different because people would like 10 years ago, someone would put something on Spotify and it would kind of have a lot more chance to just organically blow up. And now it's like you must post 1,000 TikTok videos. But to answer your question, so I knew that this is not an ad, but meta ads has worked for me before in the past. So I knew this recent song I put out in January called Ghost Story. I've had like the most organic success with it. I hate the word organic, but it's real because I've tried all these other promo things where later I was like, those streams, where did they go? Was that real? Probably not. But this was the 100% real because I did it all myself. So, because sometimes you hire people to do it and you're like, what are they really doing? Is it bots? It feels like bots. This was all real. So I went on meta ads. I put a, daily budget of I think $20 because I had a little bit more to spend, and I ran it for maybe 4 to 6 weeks. I may be doing the math wrong. I know I spent, because I know independent artists want to know like how much it really takes, and I spent probably around $1,500, which is the most I've ever spent on ads for a song. That's a big amount of money that you could use. Normally I would use that to create for sure. But I just knew that I needed to build something and I couldn't just keep putting money into the creative and then having nobody listen to it, right? So I had to just suck it up and be like, we're gonna put this into, it's gonna pay off. And it did. So I did that for about 6 weeks, then I turned it off. And then when Spotify sees enough people clicking on it that are very real, then it picked up on Discover Weekly. And for some reason, that song, maybe because there's an emotional element to it, it just kept getting picked up. And there was at one point, it got like 7,000 streams in a day, which is a lot for me as an independent artist. So I was really proud of that. And so over like maybe 6, whatever month we're in now, 8 months, it's gotten, I think it's at 240,000, which is the fastest I've ever had a song grow. Normally that takes like years. But that's really all I did because nothing else boosted it. It was all just from people clicking on an ad and then Spotify getting enough data from those people. I guess the people that liked it probably liked rock or pop punk and it kind of knew. So I think that's the secret. People keep saying like stay in your lane because then Spotify will get more information on who's gonna really like the song, which is hard for me because I definitely am like a multi-genre person and a lot of my old music is not pop punk. So I learned that like staying in your lane at least for a few releases in a row helps, and that meta ads do work. Not an ad, but if they want to pay me, I'm down.
So what kind of went into the ad, or what did the ads sort of look like?
So I did make a real music video for that one. And I do find it pretty eye-catching because I think it's down to the content. Because when like any ad, right, you want to engage the person.
Yep.
And it's like I filmed it on a mountain, like at a ghost town, and like it looks very like, what is this?
Yeah.
So
It looks dope though, by the way.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing I've ever done. I was like, when I'm 90, I'll be happy that I spent all my money going to the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this, even if nobody sees it.
Yeah.
But it ended up paying off because I used a clip of it for the ad, and then I just targeted like. The targeting is very important too. I learned I targeted like people who like Paramore and Avril Lavigne and like stuff that was kind of in the lane.
Yep.
Yeah, and it worked out. And
Awesome.
I'm really excited about the fact that worked out, because like we were saying, as independent artists, you can do that, and then it's so slow, and you're just like, nobody's listening.
Yeah.
For years before this, I had a huge gap of like, it was just quiet, like 5 streams a day, and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I think that's super cool that you kind of found something that works. But I think it's very key that you said when you were talking about leaving yourself a budget for the marketing, because I feel like that's something that we just often neglect.
Oh, totally. I never wanted to do that before.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about the creation, and I'm all about like going all out for the music videos, because it's like my big passion, and like cinematography and editing. Yeah. So I'd always be like, have a budget. The whole thing is going into the video, and like I maybe have $100 left.
Yes.
And then it's like you wonder why no one's hearing it, because artists with major labels, they get it's like $50K a month or something just in ads. That's probably smaller artists.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to just force ourselves to do that.
Yeah.
Because then the goal is people will be there, and they'll actually be getting you a return on that, and then you can use that to keep creating. But yeah, I didn't want to do it at first. I'm glad I did it though.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like you spend all this time and energy on the product, but you want people to hear the product, so you need to allocate some budget so that people can actually hear the product that you spend all this time and money on.
Exactly, because that's what we want, right?
Yes.
We don't want it to just be us watching it on our computer
forever.
And like, the thing is, I know a lot of artists might not have $1,500. For a lot of years I didn't. But I've seen people do things like Kickstarters or like crowdfunding, but then I'll look and there's nothing for marketing in the budget a lot of times. So I'm like, people should just remember, if you're gonna raise like $5K to make a video and a single, like maybe save $1K to get it out there, because it'll be worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
You mentioned the ghost town and going.
Yeah.
Tell me about that whole process of going to the place. And
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking up, because obviously it's called Ghost Story.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to make a cool visual. Originally, I was gonna go to this fake ghost town that is like one of those pure space things.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that'll be cool, and we can like light it and whatever. But then I had this idea, what if there's a real one? Because I'm crazy and I like to go the extra mile. So I Googled.
I love that. It's not crazy at all. I love it.
In a good way. Yeah. But so I Googled like real ghost towns, and then I saw it's called Bodie, California. It's like it's near Mammoth.
Yeah.
And I instantly fell in love. Like when you see photos of it, like it haunts you, like through the photos. I was like, I have chills. I don't care what I have to do. I need to be in this place.
Wow.
And I need to make something here. So I had to get my band to be willing to drive out there. It's like 6 hours away or something.
Okay.
And we had to stop. Thankfully, I have a really close friend who has a house in Mammoth.
Okay.
Actually, wait, so that was it's like 4 hours. So part of the way there, we stayed at her house, and then there's another 2 hours to go up the mountain the next day.
Okay.
So I'd be like, hey guys, are you down to like, cart your drums up to the 8,000 feet? And they were all so down.
Awesome.
Because like, it did sound like an adventure. And thankfully the people I work with, like they love the outdoors and like whatever.
Okay, cool.
So, but yeah, I had to get everybody, it was like my band and then just my DP and lighting guy. And then my dad, like, he's just always wants to be part of it. And he helps me out a lot too. So he was like driving all of us and like being the best.
Yeah.
So it was just all of us. We went to my friend's house, stayed over, and then drove 2 hours up a mountain the next day, shot. We only had like 3 or 4 hours to do the whole thing and then come back. But I had to have everything really planned because when you get there, there's like, you know, you got to like inhale oxygen and stuff because it's 8,000 feet up. So you're like not okay. You're like, what's happening? So I had these tanks that we were all like inhaling from. And then like there's the park ranger that like needs to like go through the safety stuff and show you things. But it was so amazing. I just wish we had more time to really explore.
Yeah.
But we didn't because we were making a video, which is so amazing. But I do want to go back and actually take a look at it for real one day. But yeah, there was a lot to it, including getting people to be okay with not being able to breathe. Like myself, I was having panic attacks the whole night before. I was like, am I gonna die when we go up there? Like the whole day before we left, I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, it's too much stress. Why do I do this to myself? I was like, everybody cancel. And then my dad was like, you're doing it. You know you want to do this. He's like my cheerleader. If I didn't have him, I don't know if I could do it, honestly. Like,
how do those conversations go? You're like, hey guys, you might not be able to breathe up there, but let's go.
Well, luckily, like I'm the one with anxiety, and everyone else, at least in that group, was people who are like so down for adventure, and they already like Yosemite and like all these things. So they're like, elevation, I don't give a shit. But like, so when I told them, like Roger, my DP, he's such an adventure guy. Like he literally just filmed something in Africa. Like he's so cool. So he was like down instantly. So yeah, they were all just like, yeah, it's fine. Bring a tank. I probably won't need it. Like whatever. I was like, but what if we die? But yeah, we made it.
And then so you had to like contact this ranger. Like how did that go?
That was a whole other process because I had to get a permit. So which I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Other than the one I did in high school, I had to get a permit for that too. But this was different because it's like a whole national parks thing. So, and you know, you have to be telling them you're not going to like set everything on fire and whatever.
Sure.
So I had to email like the park ranger and then call them and then do this and then email the national thing and get it was a whole ordeal on the like production side. But it's just all worth it when you know what you're going to get in the end. And thankfully I was right.
Yeah.
Because it looks really cool.
Yeah, no, it does look really cool.
Thank you.
And it all worked out.
I'm very proud of it.
Speaking of adventures, you also went to Iceland to shoot a music video?
Yeah. Well, you're really making me feel like an adventure person.
I mean,
I spend 99% of my time alone in my room. Like, I hate the world.
if you go to Iceland to shoot a music video, I mean,
I know. No,
that's an adventure.
You know, we all have multiple personalities.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yes, that is a number one life moment.
That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, talk about that process. I know we talked about it last time.
I'll talk about it till I'm 100.
Yeah,
that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Right? It's for the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, this was 6 years ago.
Okay.
This was my first official single, and up until that point, I had made like kind of homemade sounding music in my room on my laptop with like no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
Like no BPM, no tuner, like way too much reverb, just like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Deleted it all and then finally hired a producer and learned about really making like professional music. And so the song's called Lighthouse. And I was like, I just feel that I want to make something special for this song. And I had seen what had I seen? My friend did like a dance video in Iceland or something. So I remember seeing the scenery, and I'd also seen it in movies. Like I think there's a movie called Oblivion or something where they filmed there. But I knew it was a special place just from what I had seen online. And for some reason, kind of like the ghost town thing, I just was like, ding, I have an idea. And then it's like you start researching and getting obsessed. That's what I do anyway. And so I had this crazy idea to be like, okay, I'm going to get on a plane by myself and meet up with a cinematographer there that I talked to on Instagram like a couple times and drive into the middle of nowhere and shoot a video. When I hear myself saying this, I'm like, did I have a death wish? Like when I was on the plane on the way to Iceland, I was like, I could die. This dude could murder me, like for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
but he was so amazing. Yeah. I looked into him to know that he's like the best cinematographer in Iceland, and he had just worked with Avril Lavigne, and was like, I was lucky that he answered me back and was down. I had to email him like 4 times for him to answer me back.
Okay.
Can you tell I'm relentless?
Yeah.
I'm like, they haven't read it yet. We're gonna keep going.
I love it. I love that.
You have to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so basically I did a Kickstarter for that one.
Okay.
So I knew I was going to do Airbnb for me and him, my flight, like some food, and then his cinematographer rate. Because I just kind of knew that the scenery was going to do its thing. I could put on a red coat and like a beanie, do my own makeup, and then that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Because you can film anything there and it
Yeah.
looks insane.
Right.
So yeah, I did it for like, I think 5K total.
Wow.
Which is really not a lot for what I got out of it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and the fact that I got to do a Kickstarter for it and like, you know, my peers paid for that is insane.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it was wild.
absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you went to Iceland and shot a music video on 5K is pretty.
It's crazy.
It's pretty incredible.
It's crazy. And like when you see what it looks like to know that it's just him and me is insane. Cause like he's a professional drone operator and his other camera is really high end too. So everything just looks so expensive. But it really wasn't. It was literally like, so I got to the Airbnb and then he picked me up at like 6 a.m. the next day. We drove into the middle of like some like iceberg area. Because in Iceland, everything's incredible. You just pull over and be like, you want to shoot there? Sure. There's like mountains and giant chunks of ice. Like, and then you just stand there and it looks, we're like running around. And then he'd be like, there's reindeer. You want to film those? I was just like, holy shit, yes.
Yeah.
And then we would stay like, wherever we filmed that night, we just stay in an Airbnb there and then drive again the next day. So it was like a tiny little like 3-day tour type thing. Yeah. But I was sharing a room with him and I was like, he could totally murder me in my sleep. But he was the nicest
Luckily,
person I've ever met.
Yeah.
And he was like married with kids. So like it wasn't,
Yeah.
We had separate beds.
Yeah.
But it was like, I told him, I was like, I really only have enough budget for like these rooms that have these like single beds. Is that cool? And he was like, yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Now I maybe would feel weird doing that. But back then I was like, YOLO. I didn't care. I was a lot less anxious at that time in my life. You know, life has happened since then, but we're getting back to it. It's coming full circle.
Yeah, yeah.
I can feel it.
No, that's awesome. And then you mentioned earlier talking about shooting at a school.
Yeah.
Which was something else we talked about before, but I want to revisit it because it was also really cool. And you talked about how you had to get a permit for that, but you had to like find a school first, which was a process for that music video.
Yeah.
So real quick, tell people about that song and the concept of the video, and then talk about the process of getting the video shot for that one.
Yeah, cool. So that song is called Press Rewind.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like one of my first songs that went into like the pop punk kind of sounding lane. And so I was inspired. It was kind of written about the early 2000s, which I'm like, will forever be obsessed with. And it references like some of my favorite artists. So I had this idea, I should film it in a high school and recreate my favorite MTV moments. And I was like, how am I going to find a school? And this is going to be, how am I going to, sometimes I get an idea and then I just can't not do the full thing. I was like, I'm going to be 6 different artists. Or I was like, I don't even know how many that it was. It was something like 6 or 8, and I did it all in 2 days. Wow. And I was just like, well, we're doing it. I think I lost my mind and I just felt like I needed to make this project. And when I look at it now, I'm like, it was so expensive. And I'm so proud of it. It's definitely one of my favorite things I've ever done. And it was probably the happiest I've ever felt, just getting to like do that. I felt like this like big artist because I put on this big project for myself. But what's hard is like it didn't necessarily do what I thought that it would. But you just never know what's actually going to like break you out. I thought like if it was me discovering this video, I'd be like, holy shit, this is sick. That's why I made it. But I didn't know enough about how to like get something really going. But that being said, I'm still really proud of it because yes, I did have to call. I made a list of all the high schools in LA that I felt like I could contact because there's probably still more than what I did. Definitely still more, but there was 60 of them. And when I got to the bottom of the 60th one, the first one called me back. Wow. So it ended up being the first one that I got. Wow. And I went through the whole list.
But you called all of them.
Yeah. This interview is making me feel like I'm clinically insane.
No, like
because I'm hearing myself. I'm like, whoa, I'm crazy.
No, you're very persistent, and that's amazing.
Well, I think you have to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you just apply that to like getting heard, it'll all work out. If I apply my same craziness to the videos if I can put that into actually getting heard, I think that'll be the key.
Yeah.
The key.
No, absolutely. There you go.
Yeah.
And in that video, there was, nods to Britney and Eminem, like in the kind of lose yourself moment. And
that was fun.
Yeah, so that was like super cool, and it looked amazing. So I just want to
thank you
point
so
that out
much.
because it was very dope.
Thank you. I think it was probably the most fun I've ever had because it was kind of like living out my childhood dreams.
Yeah.
Like dressing up like Britney.
Yeah.
Like she was like the OG person that inspired me to do music. So there was probably part of my like childhood me that just needed to make this, whether or not it broke
Blew
the
up.
internet or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I just needed to make it, especially Linkin Park.
Yeah.
That one was my favorite.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, it was super cool.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about Sync. I know you posted kind of after we did our first interview, you posted about getting a good sized check from a Sync project. How did that come about?
Yeah. No, that was really so exciting, and it's funny that it happened after we had our interview.
Yeah.
So with the whole Sync placement thing, I got hooked up with an agency like 5 years ago. My one of my good friends, Richard Walters, he's an artist from the UK. He's really amazing. I sent him my first EP when it came out in 2020. And I was just like, hey, if you have any advice for how I could get these heard by some people, they're kind of cinematic and sad, like these songs, like maybe I could get them placed one day or whatever. And then he was like, oh, actually, an agency I used to be a part of, she would really like this. Here's her email. Like, such an amazing thing. Like, not everybody in the industry really looks out for you or is willing to share their contacts. I've learned that a lot of people hide them, and it's very competitive, and I get it. Also, sometimes people can get annoyed if you share or whatever. So it was really nice of him to do that. And then she ended up liking the music a lot, so she signed me as my Sync agent. And then nothing happened for the first couple years, actually. And I was just like, maybe, like, I don't know. I was like keeping the hope, but nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, I got a call that this commercial for transition lenses, like the sunglasses or whatever, they were interested. Like, she had pitched them my song Lighthouse, the one from Iceland.
Yeah.
So, and a month or so later, they chose it. Wow. Yeah. And so I had a couple years run with a very small, like, little section that they were placing it in. And then this year they renewed it, and it was like a way bigger check. And I was like, damn, okay, this is paying my rent for a year? Like, this is the dream. Thank you for reminding me of that, because that's a really amazing opportunity that, like, I can't ever forget. No matter what happens next, like, I had that moment. And so many artists dream of that, including me on the street, like, playing guitar 10 years ago for, like, to buy food. Like, it's pretty crazy to say I could pay my rent for a while from one song now.
Yeah.
So
that's incredible.
And I spent it all already, but
I mean, but, whatever.
Life is expensive.
Yeah. LA especially, rent's crazy out here. But it is still very cool that as an independent artist, you were able to pay your rent for a while off of music.
That is the dream.
It is the dream. And I feel like people don't necessarily realize what's possible. I feel like a lot of independent artists don't. Maybe if they do, it seems like a pipe dream. It seems like something that won't happen, for a lot of people.
Yes.
But this is why I bring people like you on the podcast, because I want people to hear it. Like, this is possible. This happens to people that you see around the scene playing at Hotel Cafe at Monday, like, this is happening for people.
You're so right. Yeah. Thank you for that reminder too, because sometimes I get lost in my, like, what am I doing with my life thing? And it's so good to remember that is a very exciting thing to happen. And that there were so many years that wasn't happening for me until it did. Yeah. So you're right. Like, it's a good message to just remember, like, keep going, because it took like 4 years from her signing me for me to get that check. and that, like, you could start to be like, maybe, you know, maybe it's not and then all of a sudden it does.
Yeah.
So totally a good message for sure.
Absolutely. I love that. Have you started to look into any other sync things, or just kind of sticking with that agency for now, or what?
Yeah, for now, like, it's exclusive, so she's like my own, like, I have to be represented by her.
Gotcha.
And obviously, because she got me that great deal, I'm like, we're sticking with her.
Yeah,
And she's
if it
awesome.
ain't broke,
yeah, she's awesome. And she, you know, it's hard because I feel like she can pitch my music all she wants, but it is up to someone else deciding in the end. So you just have to, like, have faith that something else will get chosen. Because I hear my music and I'm like, oh, this should be in a movie, you know? But they have to. Yeah. And I have another friend who works in, like, Lionsgate, like, really big placements in movies. And she told me, you know, it really is, because we're good friends, you know what I mean? But she couldn't just take one of my songs and hand it over, really, because it really is a game of, like, they want whoever's really popular and big right now to be on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It is all, like, a catch-22 thing. Yeah. You know, once you get your foot in the door and everything's big, then everybody wants it. Yeah. So you have to kind of do that climb first.
Yeah.
And just believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then, too, I was at a sync conference recently, and, you know, they were also talking about how it's all about the scene as well. You know, you could have a great song, but if it doesn't serve whatever particular scene that they're looking for at the time, then, you know, it kind of doesn't matter. So it's just a matter of timing. You know, we were talking about timing earlier, and, you know, timing is everything. So when the right scene, you know, comes, you know, and your song fits that scene, then
that's the dream.
You know, then it'll happen.
Yeah. Having a song in a movie, that's another dream for sure. Because a commercial is really cool, especially when it's, like, cinematic or whatever. Yeah. But a movie, like an emotional scene or something, and then people always remember that, that would be lit. Manifesting it. Yeah,
let's go.
It's happening.
And plus, I mean, a lot of songs have popped off that way. Like, people have popped off getting in a TV show or a movie, and then people Shazam it, like, oh, what is this? And then or songs have these resurgences because they were
for sure
in a, you know, TV show or movie, and then all of a sudden the stream spike and all of that.
Totally, that would be really exciting. Yeah, I've definitely seen artists have, like, a song that's 5 years old or even 10 years old, just all of a sudden have this huge thing on TikTok because it was featured on something, or just because it blew up on TikTok. Yeah. So it's like, you never know. Because I get over my songs after, like, a month. Yeah. I'm like, on to the next. Yeah. But, like, you just got to you have to find a way to keep pushing it.
Keep pushing it, for sure. And we talked about this last time, how, you know, we think that because we're tired of it after a month, that everybody else must be tired of it too, and everybody else has seen it, and but it's like, nobody saw it.
No, you're right.
Nobody knows about it.
You're so right.
You know, and sometimes too, just because our friends and family have seen it and have heard it, that doesn't mean anything. Like, our job is to find the fans that are truly gonna resonate with our music. Yeah. And sometimes that's not always your friends and family.
It's usually not.
Yeah.
I'm finding.
Right. No, 100%. Yeah. And I feel like we get discouraged when our friends and family don't support it like we would want them to. Yeah. But maybe that's just it's not their vibe. Maybe it's not their kind of music. And it's our job to find those people who the music will mean something to them.
So true.
And it will be for them. So we have to keep pushing it to find those people. Yes. And if we stop pushing it, and if we say, oh, well, everybody's seen it, and we don't post about it, and we don't, you know, do those things to keep getting it out there, then the people who are meant to find it won't find it. The people who would truly resonate with it, and it will mean something to them, they're not going to find it.
So true. That's a good reminder too. Because I recently made like 150 videos for a song that I just released for TikTok. Because I was like, I'm going to make people find it. Yeah. I'm going to post 5 times a day. And I'm so burnt out from it now. Okay. I'm like, I'm never listening to that song ever again. No, I still love the song, but I've heard it so many times now. Right. Like, you know how much editing that is?
That's a lot of editing.
I've spent the entire summer inside editing.
Wow.
And I was like, and then my doctor was like, your vitamin D levels are horrible. And I was like, yeah, it's because I've been on my computer all day. But like you said, just because I did 150 of them, none of those popped off yet. So I still have to keep going.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just mute it while I edit it.
Yeah, right.
So that I don't go crazy.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. They're out there. We just got to find those people.
Yeah. I love the dedication of making all those videos.
Thank you. I think it's actually insanity. But
you know what? Honestly, I feel like it takes a bit of insanity to do what we do and to be successful at it, honestly.
It definitely does. When you think about people who are not artists, who don't understand, and they're on a whole other path with a job that's guaranteed and their salary that's guaranteed, and they're like, oh, I could never, like, what do you mean you don't know when your next paycheck is? Like, you're probably gonna be like 45 and like washed up, no one's gonna hear your songs, aren't you worried about your retirement? And I'm like, no. Because it's only this. So I'm just gonna do it. Even though it seems completely nuts. Like, I have to be, like you said, if they are normal, then we are insane because we're searching after something that is fully unknown. But I don't want to do anything else.
I'm with you.
You know?
No, I've gone through this whole thing recently. I was a producer for NBC Los Angeles, which is a good job. It's
cool.
a good company to work for. It was a really good salary, and I left that to pursue music full time, which would sound insane to a lot of people.
Yeah, not to me though.
Giving up a stable 6-figure income, you know what I mean? Like I know, and that's not even a flex. That's just like that's what it was. But it, like, the music is what I'm passionate about, and I know that's what I want to do. And I know that sounds insane to a lot of people to like give that up. Right. But it is what it is.
But to me, I'm like, hell yes. Because that's the only way you'll ever feel fulfilled.
Right.
Is if you, unless you make the thing you love the most in the world, the thing that is your job, there will always be something missing.
Yes.
And a lot of other people, that thing that's guaranteed salary is the thing that they love doing.
Yes. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's really cool for them. But like, we're a different type of people.
Yes.
So. And
I'm also kind of learning. I listen to a lot of podcasts from, really successful people and consume their content, and, kind of millionaires and big time business people, not even in music, but just general, business guys. And because I feel like principles of success that work over here too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the general principles.
Yeah.
And one of those things that I hear people talk about a lot, people that have seen success, is taking those risks that other people are afraid to take.
Ooh, I love that. That's such a good point.
And so that's kind of why I did what I did recently, because, I feel like I don't want to be 70 years old and be like, damn, I wish I would have.
Totally, though. Exactly. Because if you never did it, you would be saying that.
Yeah. And the only way to know is to take that leap sometimes, and again, it seems insane to people, but I feel like it is necessary to truly accomplish something great. And you never know what you could accomplish unless sometimes you just got to dive in head first.
Yes. And you have to mute out the noise of people telling you, what if it never happens? How old are you? Just stop listening to it. Because I do feel that, I don't know if it was you that said this or if I said this last time, but like, I saw this one video that said this and it stuck with me. The one thing that all the successful artists have in common is like unwavering belief that they were going to make it. And so I think if you have that, then you just will. It just might be a different amount of time compared to someone who makes it at 18, but you just will. That's what I've decided.
100%.
So
I believe that
here
too.
we are.
I love it. We'll see what happens. We're here though. But it's like I'm in, and we're gonna see what happens. And like,
it's so cool that you did that. Props.
Thank you.
So that, like you said, not very many people would do that.
Right.
Most people would go the other direction and be like, well, I tried, and then moving on to this other thing, which I understand that too. When people just make the decision to change, they just weren't happy pursuing the unknown anymore. And I get that.
Yeah.
I've had so many days where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so depressed. What am I doing? Like so lonely and like questioning my whole life.
Yeah.
But then you have those moments where it works out and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's worth it.
Yeah, no, that totally happens. I mean, we all question things and question our path and what we're doing.
Every day.
But I mean, I feel like that's what makes you human, you know. But I feel like it's what you do with that, and you know, it's keeping going in spite of that, you know.
Yes.
That I feel like separates, you know, who makes it ultimately and who doesn't.
That's true. That's so true. Somebody said this to me recently, and I think it's a good point. He was like, I'll never trust someone who hasn't suffered at least a little bit. And I'm like, that is a good point, especially as artists, because like, this sounds so cliche, but I do think that the story is everything. Because once you do have those successful moments, then you have that whole part before it to make you very thankful for it.
Absolutely.
And to have something to say. Like, one of the reasons why MGK is such an inspiration to me is because when you listen to his discography, like, you hear how much he had to fight to get to where he's at now and everything he's been through.
Yeah.
Like, he has a lot to say as an artist. And you could tell the difference between somebody who maybe is a great singer and other people are writing for them, which no shame on that, because that's really dope and it works.
Yeah.
But then artists who are really just speaking from like their experience of life being like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Those are my favorite people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Juliette, where can people find you?
People can find me on any social media platform or music platform under Juliette Irons. And yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I would say.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
and
you so
joining
much.
me.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming back again. It's a great conversation. So
Yeah. I loved it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Such a great time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you heard, leave a comment and let us know what resonated with you. Please like and subscribe as well. And if there's somebody that you feel like would get something out of this, go ahead and send it to them, all right? We'll catch you next time.